Hello happy souls, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte with Happy Souls 1111. Guys, I'm so sorry, I've been away so long. Everything is still in a state of flux. I mean, on a daily basis I'm just mind blown all over again with the changes I'm experiencing at the moment. It's just ongoing. It's really intense times. So I'm still finding my groove with these changes. I'm still finding my feet. But I am back today because I feel like I just need to pick up where I left off to a degree and just get back into the swing of things. This kind of hanging around, mulling it over isn't doing me any good. So here I am. We've got a pick a card reading today about your healing. What do you need to heal? What's blocking you from that healing? How do you need to move forward? And I've also got some special offers running this month for those of you that are members of my Facebook group. There's a 20% off offer for SRT for 2 people. So that's Spirit Release Therapy, clears you of anything negative, helps clear your connection. You can find the coupon code for that on my Facebook group. The link is down below. And also, if you're interested in healing yourself through your connection to spirit, I'm also offering my Facebook friends a 10% discount on my Mediumship for Beginners class, which starts in a couple of weeks. The SRT class starts next week for those of you that are interested in that. But you can find the information for both on my website, www.happysouls1111.com, and you can also find information there about how to get a private reading from me. Okay, so I hope you're all well. It feels really strange to be back doing this, I can't lie, but I'm sure we'll get into the groove of it. I'm going to try and post every day this week just to find my feet with it again. I've got a beautiful piece of twin quartz for pile 1 today. So let's do this. I don't use reversals in this deck, so if they come out reversed, I'm going to turn them the right way up. So we are looking at, what do you need to heal? What is blocking you from healing? And how can you move forward for your highest good? I think these are the best questions for twins, for the cards. So we're very focused on past and present and how you need to move forward. This isn't a predictive reading. I won't be doing so many of those anymore. Primarily because I don't believe they're that useful. Nothing's ever set in stone anyway. Everyone has free will. And my guides described it to me quite beautifully. You know, there is always a divine plan for each of us. So we can certainly take a look at what the divine plan is. But, you know, there are 1,000,001 external circumstances that can influence this. And primarily people's free will. So, you know, predictive readings just aren't something I'm going to do anymore as a result of that. But let's go pile 1. What's blocking you? What do you need to heal? How do you need to move forward? So what do you need to heal? What's blocking you from this healing? And how do you need to move forward? Get the oracle cards out all at the same time. Well, part 1, what do you need to heal? So, in the top row we've got Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the Star. This is clarified by choice, intuition, and belief in miracles. What do you need to heal? You haven't fully integrated the truth. You're very stuck in your head right now. You're trying to use your intellect to resolve the painful feelings that you have. With you, there's an inability to actually reach your feelings. You're so focused and stuck in your head that you don't dig deep enough to reach your feelings. And this is blocking your vision of the future. It's blocking your hope and optimism, because you're so trapped in your head, in ego, where fear resides, that you're always what-ifing. What if this happens? What if that happens? And, the truth of this situation is based in love, which doesn't reside in your conscious ego state. That's where fear resides. And because you're so up in your head instead of your heart, you're missing the truth of this journey. You're not understanding what's required of you, and you feel quite hopeless, like you can't, you just can't see a way forward. You can't see a way out. I'm picking up on just massive feelings of hopelessness. Just, what do? I feel so trapped. I feel so stuck. I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. And you don't see that you have a choice. Again, because you're stuck in your head with this is about learning to trust your intuition and to follow your inner guidance instead of trying to use rationale and logic with which to make your decisions. I'm really drawn to the Ace of Swords in this card. This is the card of truth and new beginnings. And we've got this very expansive crown, which for me really represents, this is the point of the journey, which is light. And we've got the triple moon here, which, references this intuition card here. And this Queen of Swords energy, this very decisive, very action-oriented, mental awareness, this state of mental awareness that you're in, is blocking your emotional awareness. It's blocking you from the truth of this journey. I feel like your heart is just closed down. You're too afraid to open it up. And you're embarrassed by the truth of this journey. It's like you don't want to accept it. And it's this choice, this decision, that is blocking your healing. This is what you need to heal. You need to believe in miracles. You need to believe in magic. You need to believe in more than what is in our 3D world so that you can move forward in this. And you need to trust your intuition. It's guiding you all the time towards the answers that you're seeking. But you're so stuck in your head trying to rationalize everything, trying to use logic, that you're not identifying with what the truth of the situation is. Now, in terms of what's blocking you, mostly ego. You've got a lot of hang-ups about what a relationship should look like in the 3D. I'm getting that there's quite a traditional energy here of wanting your masculine to be a provider, to be, abundant and safe. And this is something that you crave beyond anything else. And we've got the devil, which is attachment and codependence and bondage. This isn't a healthy dynamic. And this comes up under the truth. We've also got the Ace of Wands down here. So a lot of new beginnings reference for you. You've not fully stepped into this journey. These aces are beckoning you to begin the work. But you're so trapped in ego up in your head that you can't see this way forward. This is clarified by self-love. The number 6 card, the devil is also a number 6. This is what you do to release that devil energy, to release that ego, self-deficit, self-love deficit, codependence, unhealthy attachment. This obsession that you have with your divine masculine, of course, it's rooted in real love. It's rooted in this magnificent magical journey that we're on, but right now you're perceiving it from ego. You're anxiously attaching to the connection, and that's going to make your twin run. You're in that chase mode. I do see that you're kind of you're blocking your spiritual advancement as well. Through your reluctance to embrace the truth of this journey, you haven't yet begun doing the work that you need to do, which is, of course, self-love, self-care, making yourself a priority. And Arthur's saying that, you don't think you've got time because you're so focused on your 3D stability, your abundance, providing, making sure everything in your earthly affairs is worthwhile, that you leave no time for yourself. But taking time for yourself is an act of self-love. If you can't find 30 minutes a day to focus on your own self-healing, you've got your priorities all wrong. Okay, this is what you need to make happen. You need to charge forward and take action with spirit. You need to also trust that you are enough. You know, we've got a magnificence here. So in terms of what's blocking you, lack of self-love, and there's also an indication of that you don't feel enough, and that you have to remember that you are what you think. What you think is what you create. That's what this card says here. So your self-limiting beliefs, which are born of the self-love deficit, the self-love that you don't yet hold for yourself, are a major block in your journey right now. This is what you have to address. In terms of how to move forward, take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. And with the Knight of Cups, you know, you're really being guided to be much more loving in your approach to your twin. I feel like you've tried to play it really cool. You know, you've probably been very platonic, perhaps even a bit cutting and a bit cold. And you need to warm things up, and you need to grasp spirit. As I said, we have another ace here. This is where you are at the moment in this Ace of Swords energy, you know, blocking your progress. You need to heal this idea that I feel like you're embarrassed by the spiritual aspects of this journey, that it's possibly so far removed from who you've been and who you wanted to be that you're not comfortable with these spiritual labels. And I understand that. I felt the same to begin with as well. But you're ready to surrender to this, and we've got truth here. This is mad. See your light, know your power, have the courage to walk your truth, have the courage to you know, move forward on this journey. And this Hanged Man, the surrender card, actually reduces to a number 3, which is divine feminine empress energy. You need to surrender to what is now. You need to step into your spiritual journey, loosen up and allow yourself to be a bit more vulnerable with your twin, because this cold energy, I know you're trying to play it cool because you don't want to appear needy and desperate. You don't want to show him that you've got all of this kind of obsessive, codependent attachment energy, this devil energy. You're trying to play it really cool, but this is blocking your connection. It's blocking your healing. You need to connect with your emotions. And you certainly, if you're in communication with your twin, need to allow some emotion to filter through into that communication. It says here, you're a true being of the universe. Your beauty radiates from within. So the message is down here, you know, you are good enough. What you think is what you create. Start becoming aware of that vicious voice inside of your head that keeps telling you you're not good enough. You're a true being of the universe. So what it says here, your beauty radiates from within. That is a very beautiful card. And, you know, the root of all of this is in your self-love. It's time. I know you're in a lot of pain and you don't want to be in pain, but you must understand that you're not going to magically wake up one day and find this pain has gone. It's going to take work, and it's work that you have to do for yourself. It's just 30 minutes a day, taking a break from work, giving yourself that time to move forward in peace. I really hope that helps, Part 1. Good luck, sending you lots of good vibes. And if you are new to this journey and still struggling with the twin flame label, come and see us in the Facebook networking group. There's so many loving souls that are there for you, ready to support you. You know, you're very welcome there. We're all there ready to help you. Okay, Part 2. So Part 1, please like, share and subscribe. Tell me what you thought of your reading. I always love to hear back from you. Do comment down below. Okay, Part 2. I do work with reversals in this deck. We're looking today at what do you need to heal? What is blocking you from that healing? What do you need to do to move forward for your highest good and the highest good of your connection? Let's have a look. Oh, some turned over then, so I'm gonna keep them. This is the Holly Simple Tarot. Absolutely love them. You can find information about the decks I use in the description box below. Okay. So what do you need to heal, Part 2? What's blocking you from that healing? How can you move forward for your highest good? We're going to get some oracle cards here as well. So I'm picking up a tremendous amount of doubt for you, part 2. A tremendous amount of just lack of faith in yourself, in the journey, in your twin. It's coming through very strongly for me. I took 2, so I'm going to keep those. Okay, part 2. What do you need to heal? You need a new beginning. You need a brand new beginning. And I feel like you've been stuck in a rut for a really long time. You're not good at reaching out and asking for support. You're not good at accepting the truth or having faith in the truth of this connection. And I'm picking up on really persistent negative belief systems with you. But you need a brand new start and you're resisting it. You're resisting change. It's like you don't know how to move forward, not just within your connection, but within life. And you're doubting the connection. You know, you're starting to doubt in your own beliefs about the connection. It's quite probable that your twin is running. And, you know, that is when our faith is really tested. Because you feel like a crazy person holding all this love and space to someone that doesn't appear to be interested. I really do know how that feels. But trust that you can move on from that. You know, in denying the connection, you're also denying in part the truth of who you are. You need to reach out for support. You know, this refusal to find support, to reach out, to get support is also holding you back. I feel like you're very trapped, and it's quite likely that, you know, the people that are immediately around you that you would normally talk to about relationships and your feelings don't understand the twin connection. So this has caused a dramatic amount of confusion for you, and it's caused you to become disillusioned with the journey. It's caused you to doubt your own faith and doubt your own intuition. You know, you're now starting to question, oh my God, have I been crazy all this time? What am I even doing? And it's kind of, everything's ground to a halt for you. So, you know, this is all about self-trust and faith in what you know and faith in what you understand. There needs to be change here, and you've ground to a halt and you're refusing to move forward. Now, in terms of what's blocking you, we've got the 4 of Cups here, and you know, this is really about not really seeing what's available to you, being so focused on your lack that you're not seeing what is positive. And with the 6 of, we've got 2 6s in reverse here. This is, you know, 6 is the number of love. This is love in reverse. And with the 6 of Wands in reverse, again, what's blocking you is your lack of faith, your inability to believe that there could be a successful outcome from this situation. You just don't believe that you can be victorious. You don't believe that things can be rebalanced and be okay again. And you're very anxious. You just don't give yourself enough time to think about this from a calm and still place, to reflect on the moment with compassion for self and your twin. And you need to, it says here, look at the clouds to see the answer you seek from your angels. Again, what's blocking you is your inability to connect with spirit. We've got 2 cards that represent Mother Earth here as well. It comes up in terms of what's blocking you and what you need to heal. And I feel like you're probably quite an outdoorsy type person, and you've not given yourself that time and space in nature. This is probably where you used to get some peace and solitude, and you've been rushing around too busy and kind of hidden yourself away and lost touch with your connection to the earth and, you know, everything that means to you. So you definitely need to get grounded. You need to get back outdoors. Now, in terms of how you need to move forward, resilience is indicated here. And this is 21, which of course reduces to 3, the number of the Empress. You know, you have to be more resilient. You can't allow yourself to be smashed down every time you feel these feelings of rejection. abandonment, loss, regret, resentment. You know, you've got to be able to really develop some strength of character so you can pull yourself out by your own bootstraps and carry the, you know, that burden of feelings. Trust that you've got the strength to do that you can be resilient. You need to develop faith, and this has come up a lot in your reading. We've got the star reversed here. You need to start looking forward. You need to develop some faith. You need to start, you know, allowing yourself to fantasize and believe in a better future. And I'm getting very strongly, this isn't just to do with your twin. You know, I think you've had a really rough ride and you just feel beaten and trodden and just, you know, squashed by it all. It's like you're just stuck right now. You just can't see a way forward. But you've got to trust. You've got to trust that your ships will come in, that you can have everything you need and want, that all of it can flow to you in abundance. I'm guided to, I mean, we've got reflection here, but you've got to focus on looking at yourself instead of your twin right now. If you're not confident in that connection, then, you know, you don't have to necessarily abandon the journey. You just need to put the full focus on you. You can't forget your twin. You know, they're all, your mind can't move a moment without bumping into some thought of them. I know that. So I'm not asking you to forget them. I'm just asking them to focus on you and to make decisions for you and for your future and to trust that it can be okay. Now is also a time about speaking your truth. We've got the King of Swords coming up here, and I'm really guided that you need to grasp the truth and you need to communicate it. And this is going to be very, very liberating for you. And to speak it for you and you alone, not because you need a certain response or outcome. You know, sometimes speaking your truth is just about affirming consciously what you believe and, you know, kind of putting your flag in the ground and saying, you know, this is who I am. It says here, see all aspects of yourself through the reflection of the one who mirrors your hidden self. So, you know, I'm also guided here to say whatever it is that your twin's been doing, you need to remember that they are mirroring how you feel about yourself. Their treatment of you, their behavior, their actions towards you are all a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself inside. So if you are not loving self, you're not making time for self, if your mind is all over the place, they are going to mirror this attitude in the connection. So you need to be mindful of that. Now, the last card that comes up is you know you can do it. And you can do it. You know, you really can. But you need to make this fresh start now. You need to stop blocking this connection. And you need to make a decision about how to move forward by looking at the bigger picture. Trust that victory is possible. Trust that you can be rebalanced and harmonized and move into alignment with self. Trust that things can move forward. And above all else, you've got to be strong now. You've got to be resilient. You've got to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Say, I'm not going to be beaten by this because I don't want my life to look like it does now. I don't want to feel this way, and I don't have to. It's my choice and decision to take steps to make adjustments so that things don't stay the same. You can do it. You're going to do great. Thank you, Pile 2. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to make a private booking with me, you can do that at www.happytwins1111.com. Fly over to my Facebook group. You can get some discounts on SRT over there and also for some of my classes. I will see you next time. Okay, Pile 3. What do you need to heal? Let's see what we've got for you. What do you need to heal? What's blocking you from healing? What do you need to do to move forward? Wow, these are all blocked. Let me just check that these are properly shuffled. No, they're not. Right, I'm going to do this again. Sorry about this, guys. Okay. Right, pile 3. I've still got lots of blocked energies here. Well, I've shuffled them properly. It's obviously the way it's meant to fall for you. So, in terms of what you need to do to heal, what's blocking you from healing? Let's get some more cards out. We've had very similar cards out in all piles. It's quite interesting. What do you need to do to heal? Excuse me one moment. Bear, I'm making a video. Beg your pardon. It's my 8-year-old son, probably begging for food and preaching famine, as 8-year-old boys do. Okay. Put that one back up. What do you need to heal? Wow, faith has been a running theme for all piles so far, and it's definitely coming up in this one. And faith has got it. I think it's one of the hardest parts of this journey. I joined someone's circle the other night, and this was one of the questions that they asked me. How do you keep the faith that your twin loves you, that everything's going to be okay when they're not, coming forward, or, there's no indication of union? And the answer to that is because we don't need union. When you surrender, you won't, you'll have faith in the divine plan. You don't need to know how that looks. You just surrender to and accept what is. And this is what comes with healing self and loving self. So it's not so much that I have faith in union, it's that I have faith in my own divine plan, and that if, union is meant to be part of that, great. If it isn't, fine. But you need to heal through spirit. Spirit has come up for you here, and we've got the star reverse, which is, not even being in a place to hope and be optimistic and make wishes. You need to also heal your ability to be alone. I feel like you're not comfortable outside a relationship. It's like you always feel like something is missing, and it's your fear of rejection and abandonment that hold you back from this connection in particular. But I'm feeling it's also sabotaged other relationships you have had. You're the sort of person that will, dump someone else before they have a chance to dump you. If you feel their interest waning, you've got to get in there first. It's so, it's like self-preservation and huge defense mechanisms. And as a result, you don't take many risks in love, in relationships. I'm guided that this refusal to be alone could be the opposite for some of you. It could be that you're too independent, you're too comfortable in your own skin to open up and allow yourself to be vulnerable. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, because I want you to be comfortable and alone, comfortable with your aloneness even. But you can go too far in the opposite end of the spectrum. If you're really comfortable in your solitude because you're afraid of being hurt, then you're not really comfortable. You're using this as an escape or a kind of get out. So there's a huge fear of rejection here. There's a fear of making yourself vulnerable, of putting yourself out here. For Spirit and Gaia to come up, and also what you think is what you create, I'm guessing that, much like one of the other piles I did, you are trapped in this negative cycle. For Spirit to come up, in terms of what you need to heal, I'm wondering if you're actually somewhat compromised. That this, a lot of the negative thought processes that you're stuck in are due to spiritual interference, unpleasant spiritual interference. So getting cleared might be helpful for you, but you definitely need to get grounded. It says here, connect to the pulse of the Mother Earth. So you need to get grounded. You need to, come back down to earth. I feel like you've probably been dabbling a lot in spirit and not appropriately grounding and protecting yourself when you do that work. That's very important. I talk about it a lot on my channel. you're welcome to come over to the Facebook group and ask questions, or ask questions below in the comments about what I mean by that. I do have a guided audio meditation you can use for grounding and protection, but I'm feeling some kind of interference for you in this pile that's probably guided, by dark force to throw you off track. But the deeper root of this is this either, addiction to being alone because of fear, or this inability to be alone for this, for the same reason. You just don't feel whole. It's still a fear-based result. And your complete lack of faith, your complete lack of optimism. I feel like you're a very pessimistic person, and you need to remember that what you think is what you create. You manifest your own expectations, and if they are always negative and don't serve you, then you're going to get more of that. Now, in terms of what's blocking your healing, we've got the Lovers reversed, we've got Strength reversed, and we've got Four of Pentacles reversed. Wow, I mean, this is someone that's definitely not comfortable with making themselves vulnerable, putting themselves out there. With the Lovers reversed, this is a lack of faith in the connection itself, lack of strength. Also, this is a number 8. This is a recurring cycle. Interesting, we've got 9, 8 and 7 in this row. And I really feel very strongly that, this strength in reverse is just this misguided idea of strength in your solitude as well, that you're not recognizing that you think you're being really strong and independent by rejecting anything intimate, but actually, this is your weakness, even though you perceive it as a strength. As I said, for some of you, it might be the opposite of that you actually feel like, you're not good at being alone, and that this is your weakness. So these are the things that are blocking you, but primarily there's no faith or hope in this connection ever working. And I'm getting that there's a really difficult karmic situation for some of you that makes it look really impossible. And fear of letting go. We've got the 5 of Pentacles reversed here and the 4. This is a fear of letting go your feelings, of losing yourself in this. It says here, surrender. Surrender your need to control the outcome. Just be with life in this present moment. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle, and you just need to surrender to it. You need to surrender to spirit. You need to surrender to faith and to the connection and to your own strength. You need to let all of these abandonment, loss, rejection issues go. These go back to childhood as well. I'm getting... for some of you, definitely this would have been a father leaving home, and also a lot of early relationships, your first experiences of intimate romantic relationships having ended quite badly too. It's left you fearful that this is always going to happen. This is where this pessimism comes from. It says here that children are the greatest gift of all. They teach you more than you teach them. Now, this is an interesting one to come up for what's blocking you. I think I'm going to have to leave the individual to think about that, because I'm getting so many variables come through. Children are the greatest gift of all. They teach you more than you teach them. I'm guided for some of you, this means you need to reflect on your own childhood, and that you need to remember that the conditioning that you received during those formative years is going to be very prevalent in how you view the world now and how you respond and react, both emotionally, mentally, and so on. So, this isn't just about other children. This is about ourselves as children, our inner child, and what we learned from our own experience, being our own teachers. If there are children in your life, then perhaps there is a message or some kind of important lesson in there that you're not acknowledging. It could be that there's children involved in both sides of the fence in your karmic connection, and that this is what's blocking your healing as well, because of that fear, of upsetting some kind of family status quo. But there's definitely an untapped lesson that needs to be resolved pertaining to children that's blocking you. But above all else, it's saying here, your refusal to surrender the need to control the outcome. And, you can't control things externally. You have to release that desire to control. It doesn't serve you. In terms of what do you need to heal, protection has come up here. So this has come up under this card, Spirit. As I was saying, I do think there's some kind of interference involved in your connection, and you need to focus very heavily on clearing self, grounding self, and protection. Underneath this row, these are all major arcanas. We've got Temperance here in reverse, which does, of course, refer to a number 5. You need to allow the change that's coming your way. You need to just give into it. You know, stop blocking your own forward movement. You need to just surrender to what is. Just give in to the forward momentum and accept the changes that are coming. The Seven of Pentacles reminds you that you've got to be patient. The day you plant the seed is not the day you pick the fruit. And I know that you want it all now, but there's unresolved karma here that you still need to work through. Temperance and Justice, both in reverse, are about rebalance. And they're about rebalancing, reharmonizing karma, you know, resolving karma, and some kind of truth that needs to come to the surface as well. You need to face it head on. You need to commit. You need to invest in this forward change. It says here also reflection. See all aspects of yourself through reflection of the one who mirrors your hidden self. And you need to reflect on what's gone on within your twin connection. Understand also, and this came up in one of the other parts, that your twin is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. How they treat you is reflected in how you feel about yourself. If you don't feel good about yourself, your twin's not going to feel good about you. If you can't love yourself, your twin cannot love you. They are responding to your energy. Also says here, when a feather floats down from above, an angel is showering you with love. Trust in your connection to spirit. Trust that you're being guided. Reach out for support. Hopefully that's a powerful sign or message for those of you that have been receiving feathers. So I really hope that helped pile 3. Please like, share and subscribe. Let me know down below in the comments which pile you picked and how you found it. Always love to hear from you guys. And of course, if you'd like to book a private reading from me, you can do that at www.happysouls1111.com. And I will look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, pile 4. I don't work with reversals in these cards. If they come out reversed, I will turn them the right way up. So, what do you need to heal, pile 4? What's blocking you from that healing? How do you need to move forward for your highest good? So, what do you need to heal? What's blocking you from healing? Okay, trigger warning. There's some hard truths coming with this particular pile, okay? If you don't like my hard truths, you can switch off now. Find another reader that's going to sugarcoat it for you. That's not me. Okay, let's get some oracle cards as well. Wow. This card has come up in that same position for at least 3 piles, I believe now. There's a lot of signs here for you all to get grounded, to reconnect with Mother Earth. Get out there, go for a walk. Look at the sky. Collect some leaves. Listen to the rustle of the trees. Watch the birds. You need to get connected. What do you need to heal? Truth has also come up for I think at least 3 piles. Truth and faith have been big themes for this whole video. Got the priestess twice for that pile. Oh, 2 came up, so we're going to keep them both. Right, pile 4. What is blocking you? I feel like you're fighting the truth as well. And there's definitely some kind of literal conflict between your head and your heart. I feel like in order for you to realise your twin flame journey, you're going to have to make some changes. There's some kind of transition that's required, probably leaving an existing karmic, leaving a family, and this is really hurting you. This is causing you a tremendous amount of pain. I feel like you know the truth, but you don't want to acknowledge or accept it, and you keep running from yourself. You're running from the connection, you're running in from inside of you, and of course it comes thick and fast. It doesn't leave you alone, does it? But what's blocking you is your refusal to move forward, your refusal to make changes. Going back to this Gaia card here and about connecting with Mother Earth, we've also got here being with nature will give you the answers that you need. So this also came up for another pile. I believe it was pile 2. You know, you obviously get something really valuable for your, you know, your wellness and health from nature, from the outdoors. If you've not been, you know, allowing yourself time and space for that, then you need to seriously reconsider, because this is a big part of who you are. Clearly, it's come up twice here, and you really need to rebalance and ground and to find yourself that time and space to enjoy nature. But this conflict you feel now, this is such an interesting card in this deck. This is the 5 of Wands. I feel like a lot of this is you've probably been possibly bombarded your twin with spiritual ideas that he has rejected, and this has caused some kind of distance or conflict, which has, you know, caused you to regress backwards somehow. You know, the 4 of Wands here is a very twinny card. So in terms of what you need to heal, you know, it's the truth in this twin connection. It's your acceptance of it. And you don't need your twin to accept it. You only need to accept it yourself and just allow yourself to move forward. What's blocking you? We've actually got the Priestess come up twice here. We have the High Priestess and we have Priestess, how are you being called to stand up and lead? We've also got the Queen of Swords and we've got the Page of Wands. Now, I would say that your dabbling in the spiritual aspects of this journey is in its infancy, and you think you're dedicating enough time to it. You think you're really spiritual, and mainly you're doing a tremendous amount of research, but your actual practice is in its infancy. And, you know, this isn't like academic studies. This isn't where you go to university or college and you learn about something from books. You know, spirituality requires practice and dedication. It requires that you take the time to go within and integrate what you've learned and to connect to spirit through your higher self. And at the moment, I feel that you're stuck in this idea of, you know, I'm doing what I need to know. I understand this journey. I know how it works and I am really spiritual, but actually you're not giving yourself this time. And a lot of this is connected to, you know, not giving time to Mother Earth, giving time for yourself to be still. So you need to meditate above all else. You need to connect with your higher self and your spiritual practices, because right now it's mostly just intellectual. You studied hard, but you need to create time and space for this. It's not going to do itself. It says here that your vibration is being raised to high levels. You are connected to cosmic intelligence. And with 2 Priestess cards come out, if that isn't a sign about your calling, and in particular in this card, it's quite beautiful. She's got 2 glowing hands. So for some of you, you know, you're being called to heal, especially. But, you know, spirit is really nudging you in the right direction, and this is blocking you right now. I'm feeling also with this 5 of Wands, this conflicting energy, perhaps having been quite pushy spiritually with your twin. And again, remember, this was coming from you need to practice what you preach, because your understanding of spirituality certainly isn't where it needs to be for you to be guiding your twin right now. You need to focus on guiding yourself, not him. Yeah, you've been disillusioned by his response, but his response doesn't matter. It's you and how you process this. You may have had quite harsh words with him as well about this. Things may have ended in a conflicting kind of way. Now, it does says here as well that your family needs you right now. Call upon your angels to give you strength. And in terms of what is blocking you, you know, this is quite clearly a big part of your decision to not move forward, to not, you know, to be fighting the connection and not investing yourself fully in it. If you have a family and there's karmics tied up in this, you know, there's a lot of shame and a lot of guilt. So perhaps now isn't the right timing, or you don't feel it's the right timing. But it does says here, call upon your angels to give you strength. Again, tap into your spirituality, to your truth, to your higher power for answers, for advancement. Now, in terms of how we need to move forward, we've got resilience and patience here. You know, you've got to endure this. You've got to be firmer. You've got to be independent. You've got to trust that there's going to be a period of time when there isn't going to be union, that this journey is about you. It's not about him. You don't need him to agree with everything to make it happen. You don't need him to do anything right now. It's you that is the torchbearer and lights the path forward. So you have to endure. I know you don't want to and you're sick of this shit, but you really have to. And, you know, with this 9, you know, she really is heading into this vortex, this starry night. She's got one single balloon here, which is a representation of hope. And, you know, she's heading in there alone. She's strong and brave, and she's got the patience. She knows what she needs to do. You need a new emotional beginning. You need some new perspective on how you view this whole twin journey, and you need to turn it inwards and to focus on your own self-love, that you only need you. You know, this is an ace. This is about the one, and you are the one. This is such an interesting progression, because from this page of wands, me saying, you know, you're not quite as skilled as you think you are. You are being called to step up and develop that skill, to practice your craft, to, you know, deepen your spiritual practices and to be disciplined, and also to release anxiety. Anxiety about leaving, anxiety about spirit. Perhaps there's a lot of fear connected to spirit for you because of cultural or religious beliefs that you've grown up with. And there's a lot of anxiety about being your true self. Again, we've got truth here. But you need to release that. You need to believe in miracles. We've got advancement here as well, which says a strong energy is propelling you forward. Follow the stirrings of your heart. And again, this change that's required, this transformation, this transitional period that you've been resisting, you need to just allow yourself to fall off the precipice, to dive right in and take action. Because at the moment you're stagnating. I really hope that helped, Pile 4. Please do like, share and subscribe. Leave me some comments down below. I always love to hear from you. If you would like to join the networking group on Facebook, there's some discount codes over there at the moment for SRT and also for some of my classes. You can book a private reading with me on the website at www.happysouls, nearly said happy twins then, happysouls1111.com. Now, I'm going to try and post every day this week and just get back into the swing of things. I hope today's reading was okay. I am feeling a bit wobbly, I can't lie. But it's good to be back, and it's good to share this space with you again. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. It's always appreciated. I've had such lovely emails from you guys. You really are such sweet treats, and you make me feel so special. And it's been really nice to be missed. I've missed you too. So I'll see you very soon. Lots of love and have a great evening.